All right, we are in the Coastal Cliffs tournament. It is the opening round in the rookie division. I'm in my practice account, so I'm going to run a practice round. And then tomorrow I'll run my main account. So what I've done up to this week. So my normal MO is, first of all, try and figure out what clubs, what balls you want to bring, where you want to end up on the hole. And then once I finish that, which is usually the qualifying round, then the opening round I use as my setup to try and figure out what I'm going to do to the cup. So there's a couple of the holes that just in the qualifying round, you get them figured out. But now this whole round is all about like what to do to the cup. Now, obviously, I could go get numbers from a bunch of other people, but then I would be showing. The whole idea is to try and figure this stuff out for yourself and like what's the method so that you can get it locked in. This isn't that you can't get help from your teammates. I talked to my teammate Richard this morning. We talked about some of the holes. But what I found is that we're not always taking the same shot. So like if I use what he's using, he's not taking the same shot. Like one of the holes on here, he's doing a sand bump. I'm not doing the sand bump, Richard. So like the adjustment that we do from there versus what I'm doing are totally different. Got the dogs barking in the background. We got cars out. We're outside. It's a beautiful day. I worked in the yard. Now it's getting hot, so time to get in the shade. Here we go. Hole number one. Hole number one. What is hole number one? Doing some D&D research on fatigue and exhaustion. All right, I'm using Big Tapa. Big Tapa. Where's my pen? Big Tapa. And you can use a Titan. Titan will work fine. You can bring the Kingmaker just to cut the wind down on the second side, on the second shot. But it's not really going to help you on the drive because you're using so much top spin that you won't be able to get on any more than 2 side spin. So I'm going to do max top spin -1. I'm pulling back to in this account, let's see what my Big Topper hits here. Let's see which way the wind's blowing. My Big Topper here hits 219, but when it gets to level 7, it picks up some distance and it hits 225. I think it's 225. So I have to pull back a little bit more in my 77 account than I will here. I'm going to bring a Titan, the king of balls. And let's make sure I have my bag set up. I've had these bags set up for one-on-one. And let me switch them over for tournament play. There's a lot of holes that I play a Big Topper on, but some of the holes you really need a big dog for the second shot, but the big dog will kind of hurt you in the shootouts if you have to go to the shootout. So some of them I played day to day in one-on-one with the Guardian. We're going to take that bag. I'm sure I'm going to switch this up in this bag. Goliath. I'm not using a Goliath on any of these holes, but just in case. All right, there we go. We got a bag set up. We got our bag set up. Now I have no idea what the scores are at the top, but I can tell you right now, this is my prediction for the week. -12 is the minimum. That makes -24. I really think that there are 3 on a side that we can pick up, but here's the thing about, I like these holes because they're one shot at a time. If you screw the drive up, you are screwed. Now on the par 4s, we can still recover in most of the areas on the par 4s. You can find yourself in a spot of bother if you shank the shot right at the very beginning. But there's a lot of holes here that are one shot at a time, and in order to put yourself in the right spot, you've got to be perfect to get yourself in the right spot. That I see like the average being picking up 2 on a side, so that's -28. That's, that goes from -12 to -14 a side. And so I think up at the top, what we're going to see are 28s, and anybody that can shoot plus 28, like -29, and usually it's not the odd number, but -29, -30, This is going to be, you shoot a minus 28 and they're going to, you know, everybody's going to applaud you, but you shoot a minus 29 and the reporters are going to swarm you when you come off because you're up at the top. You're in the top 5. You're going to be up there. You're going to put yourself in the hunt. But you're going to have to pick up 2 per side. 2 of these par 4s are, I'm not going to say easy, but we have serious opportunities. And then we're going to have to pick up at least 1 other shot somewhere in order to get us to it. But my goal is minus 30. I want to pick up 3 per side, but I think anything over 28, you've given yourself at least a good look at it. We'll see how that works out as the week goes on. Hole number 1. Hole number 1. And this is all about hitting it perfect to the cup. If I hit this perfect to the cup, it's going to go in the hole. What I need is my cheat sheet. Of course, I'll go first because I got up from my spot. And luckily for me, it took 5 hours to get out on the course. Okay. I'm gonna pull back to the +9 mark. 3 rings off. Max -1 topspin. Make sure that second bounce is in the fairway. It is. 3-5, 3-3, 3-3. It's 2.1 per ring, so that should be, if I add on, that's 3-6. So I'm going to do a ring and 3/4. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. Bounce number 1, bounce number 2, rolling out. And I did like +10 on the drive there, but I didn't have my calculator up, so I didn't do the math probably perfectly. If it was 3.7 like my opponent times 1.1 divided by 2.1, it'd be like 1.93 rings. My opponent moved at 3 rings. That's 6 miles an hour with an extra mile. That was kind of a big pull. Man, they barely made that. Barely made it. That was close. Not sure what club I'm in here. In my rapier, and I should be at max club. Pretty close. 1.2 per ring. 4.2 divided by 1.2 is 3.5 rings. Three and a half rings. Get lined up with the wind. 3.5 rings. You just need to hit it perfect. Oh, and I hit it 1 ring great to the left. Go in anyways. Woo! In the hole. That means on that direction I overpulled it. So the wind that we had in the opening round, or in the qualifying round, in the past we've always taken 10% off on this hole, but in the qualifying round, taking 10% off, you missed. But with this wind right here, hitting it great to the left, I'm so damn close right there that you could still get a great to the left or the right to go in, but with this side wind, I probably could have taken off a little bit. I'm happy I didn't. Even a blind squirrel can find a nut. If you can't be good, be lucky. Can't be good, be lucky. Buster's trying to get in on the video action. All right, starting it off with the bang. Getting in the hole. 175 times. All right. Hole number 2. These par 3s, I'm not so sure that the peanut one is not going to be the one that we're going to have the best opportunity to get a hole in one on, but I'm going to work this one. I think what I need to do, what I really need is a ball that's got more than 3 side spin. And I don't have anything in this account that's got more than 3 side spin as far as low power balls, so I'm going to bring a Katana. And I'm not sure where that puts me at in my club. It might put me more towards, I'm not sure. It might put me more towards minimum. And I'm going to take it with a sniper. Let's clear a slot. Let's get every club card that we ever wanted in this one chest. And that was not every club that I ever wanted. I got that Sahara though. I got that going for me. The Demon. I went to the coast last weekend and I forgot that my neighbor came and picked up some stuff, and I've been waiting for some yard stuff, and I was like, where the hell is all that stuff? He said it got delivered, and I was like, what do you mean it got delivered? We don't have it. And I forgot my neighbor came and picked up stuff, and they brought it over today, and I was like, wow, that's where it's at. Buster. Bro. We're shooting video here, man. That's probably going to be a minimum club with this wind. I should be right up against the red line. Yeah, figure out where you want to go. This is a great wind to do the rough bump. I almost feel like I could do the rough bump today. The thing about the rough bump is you got to hit it perfect. There ain't no room for error. I'm going to do the rough bump. And you still got to roll through all that shit. The deal is I won't be able to do the rough bump every day. I'm just going to take the normal shot. I think you do have your best shot at getting a hole in one here is definitely the rough bump. And even with the rough bump, you got to roll your ball through some movement on the green at the very end. Let's do the wind first. Do the wind, 2.8 divided by, where am I at in my club? There's min, so I'm at minimum club. Minimum sniper, and divided by 1.2 plus 0.1, so it's 285. There's 285. Oh shit, and I'm gonna hit everything great to the left today. That would have been pretty damn close. Pretty close. I was on one of these holes one time and I was trying to get my 100 dunks, and I've made a lot of dunks over the years, but I was like that far away and I did a dunk and they had changed the dynamics. The dunks aren't nearly as much fun as they used to be, but if you hit the flagpole now, you bounce out, and I was this close and I did a dunk and I hit the flagpole and it bounced out of the hole. So I'm going to do dunks from this. I used to, every time I was this close, I always did a dunk. I don't do that anymore. I learned my lesson. Wow, I can't hit perfect. In the hole. All right. I do like my odds on that. I did a 17.5% wind adjustment, but never know because you didn't hit perfect. And the 3 side spin ball definitely helped. A 4 side spin ball would help even more. Hole number 3. What is hole number 3? I know I'm taking a rock and a kingmaker. Other than that, I have no idea. Rock, kingmaker, I'm pulling back to the +5 mark. Giving myself a little bit of room. Now, I have a level 9 rock, so it hits a little bit farther. And you can bring a Titan here. A Titan isn't really going to affect it, other than you'll have to make a bigger wind adjustment. So if you've got a level 8 or below rock, you'll have to find the spot. But it's always best if you can pull back a little bit from the red line and add a little bit of topspin to get you to the spot that you want to be at. That way on headwind days you can set the shot up exactly the same way every round, put it at the +2 mark or the +0 mark, and then work your wind out, and then make your do whatever you're going to do, and then hit the shot so it's the same every round. The idea is to be in the same spot round after round after round, so that the second shot is consistent. Because what you don't want is one time you're 10 yards closer and then 15 yards further back, and every time you take the second shot it's at a different, a drastically different spot. 1 3/4 topspin. I'm at the +5 mark, 3.2. I'm going to add on 10%, so it's 3.5. 100% accurate club, 3.5. Put on a little bit of curl to bring me back to the middle of the fairway, and hit it 1 ring great to the right. It'll land right there, 1 ring great to the right, but it's still going to the left because I put that curl on it. And the 1 3/4 works. I was doing 1.5, and I was leaving myself just a titch shorter than you still had a great shot going to the cut, but I left quite a bit of distance. I don't really want to get any closer than that. I don't need to push the limit. I don't need to get every inch of it. I still have no idea on the second shot. It seems like we need to take a little bit of wind off, but it could be just +0. I'm going to take 5% off. 4.4, 4.18 rings. And you can see it wants to break just a little at the end, and just a little bit of backspin. 1. .2 rings. There's 4, 2. No. And then I was anticipating hitting great to the left, so I hit a 1 ring great to the right. And I was about that same distance when I hit the 1 ring great to the left in the last round. And so I have, the perfect's got to be somewhere in between those two. I'll bet you money. I'd be willing to place money on that it's going to be closer if I hit perfect than if I hit a great to the left or the right. And the perfect's got to be pretty close. Damn it. Damn it, man. I'll bet money on it. That's a bet I'm willing to take. I'm not usually a betting man, but that's a bet I feel pretty confident. Hole number 4. Sniper nav. This is one of those par 3s. This actually might be the par 3 that we have the best opportunity at. I was talking to my teammate Richard about this earlier, and in the qualifying round I did 3 3/4 backspin, and I was pretty close to like dead center mid club, but he came at it with 5 1/2 backspin. I did notice that he started to shut off a little bit to the left of the cup. At least it looked like that on the video, that he started off a little bit left of the cup. He sent me a messenger video of it, a replay video. No side spin, just 5.5 plus 20%. We'll try Richard's shot. If this goes in, we'll blame it on Richard. If it doesn't go in, we'll blame it on Richard. Actually, I said that wrong. If it goes in, we'll say that what a fantastic shot that I did, and if it doesn't go in, we'll blame it on Richard. Give a shout out to Dunner if Dunner's out there. I haven't talked to him. I've been trying to reach him, but he's working on his house. Hole number 4. Let's look at it. Let's take a gander just to make sure it is the right hole. All right. Not a super big fan of this hole, but we'll taking a nav just to cut the wind down, just a titch. The Navigator and a Sniper. No side spin, so that's not going to come into play. Just 5 1/2 backspin. The deal is there's not a really good spot to mark. Like I usually like to get into a spot where like your rings are, you got your white ring on either sides right at the transition between the rough and the fairway, and then you put on backspin. That way you can go back to that same spot and put the same stuff on there and work the wind. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 1/2. Kind of half the clear ring off on either side. 4.1 divided by 1.1. 4 1/2 rings. 4 1/2 rings exactly. Hitting it perfect. Wow. Wow, I can hit a shot perfect. Look at that. Off the back. Missed entirely. Way too much pull. I think the other day I did a just straight up shot. Plus 10. Sniper would be 1.1, and I did 1.1. So that would be just the wind. That would be a straight up shot. So 1 to 1. Seemed like I was pretty damn close. I just didn't have enough. I left it a little short because I didn't want to roll off the back. Because like my opponent's going to roll off the back. I mean, you've got any kind of speed at all, it just rolls off the back. If you got any speed at all, it'll definitely roll off the back. You can see the rough is not that far away. In the hole. All right, birdie. Birdie. Still haven't figured out all of them, but we're getting close. Hold on 1 second. Spam calls. Damn, I'm so sick of spam calls. On my regular phone, my smartphone, it tells you it's a spam call, but on my work phone, I've got an old flip phone because I don't do anything other than just phone calls on it, and it doesn't tell you it's a spam call. And I get the same place calling me. They call me like 5 or 6 times a day. 2 places call me like 5 or 6 times a day, and then there's random spam calls from who knows where. Hole number 5. What do my notes say? My notes say Big Tapa, Titan. 2.5 rings off. I'm doing an APOC on this. I think I'm going to switch to my APOC. Let's think about this hole. Let's look at it first and make sure I got the right hole. Which way's the wind blowing? That'll be a determining factor. I really... Yep. I really am trying to get down in here so that I have a straight shot in and you can do a rough bump. And getting down in there, if you use a big topper, ideally if you used a big topper, you'd want to bring out a bigger power ball than a power 3 ball so you don't have to do any overpower. So you can set yourself up in the spot and just take a shot, max curl, and just drive down the fairway. But I don't have a lot of big power balls in this account, and I don't think I have enough of any big power ball in order to get me through all the rounds. Not really. Got one berserker. And my APOC in this account is a level 5, and in my 77 account it's a level... Let's think, what are the differences? I think you get a little teeny bit more curl. I'm not sure I get any more topspin than that right there in a level. I'm gonna bring my APOC. I'm gonna bring my APOC. I think you get some more ball guide. Might get a little bit more backspin. I think when it goes up to the next level, I think ball guide might be the real big deal. Let me pull up my level 6 and see what the differences are. Because I have a shot set up in my 77 account for a level 6 APOC. And I am pretty sure I know where it's supposed to be. I took it yesterday in my 77 account and I didn't set it up. I over curled it. So I'm going to move it out to the left a little bit more so that I don't over curl it. But I'm not sure that the curl, it might have 90, it might have all of its curl when it gets to level 6. Might get the last little gasp to 90. I think it only gets to 98. I don't think it gets to 100. It might. And Playdemic is uploading their stuff. They're uploading all of their little tweak changes that aren't part of the normal game so that it'll make people have to struggle. There's some stuff in Golf Clash that really pisses me off. I've been playing some one-on-one in this account in Tour 8 and I'm really getting sick of the fucking variable wind, where you got an 11 mile an hour headwind and the next shot you got an 11 mile an hour tailwind, so that the wind changed direction 180 degrees in 5 minutes. And it's almost invariable. It works out almost every single time. You got an 8 mile an hour pure side wind coming from the left to the right, and the next shot you got an 8 mile an hour side wind going from the right to the left. So obviously we're playing in a tornado. Obviously. So 240, 75. It does get more topspin. 76 versus 64. And it does get more backspin, and it does get more curl. And the ball guide's the same. 75 versus 64. I'm going to still play it with my Apocalypse. Just so that the curl's not going to be that big of a deal. I'm going to play it with the Apocalypse. Let's make sure we got an APOC bag. I'm going to play it with a Kingmaker. Side spins King. Side spins King, Big Topper. So with the Big Topper, you got to do max OP. With the Titan, you don't. If you brought out a power ball, you definitely wouldn't. If you got a 4 or 5 side spin ball, it might help. So with a level 6 or a level 6 APOC, I'm gonna be 4 rings off the transitional surface because it's got a little teeny bit more curl, and here I'm going to be like 3 3/4, 3 7/8, just a little shy of 4. Where the fuck are you trying to hit to, dude? I suppose you could do that. You could just pound it out there and get out as far as you can into the rough you got to really make sure you hit that pad so you get a launch out into the rough, and then you can easily recover from there. And that makes this hole pretty safe. They should be able to easily recover from there. Max. So it was 4 rings. And there's Max. So 4 rings. Did I write plus 5 mark? He's just shy of 4 rings off. And I'm going to be 4 rings off at the plus 5 mark. 310. Should be 2 rings. It's 1.5 per ring. And just a titch, smidget for the 1 max curl. Hitting it perfect. We'll see if that runs me down. I was 3 rings off, and it was definitely not far enough to the left, but I think 4 rings will run me right down the middle. And I could probably go 4 1/4 rings off. I left a lot of room on the fairway to the right hand or to the left hand side. What you don't want to do is pinch yourself up on the left, because you'll run out of fairway. You can get the distance and then you run out of fairway and it runs off, it bleeds off into the rough. You want to try and keep it. What I want to do is set that shot up so if I hit a grate to the left or the right, it still goes right down the fairway. A grate to the right puts me a little closer to the cup. A grate to the left puts me a little farther away from the cup, but it gives me that still gives me a look. Alright, 1.1 times whatever the wind is divided by 1. Let's see if I got the distance I was looking for. I did. I'm going to be 2 rings off, 2 rings into the rough. Let's make sure we're a solid 2 rings into the rough. 2.86 rings, so 2.9 rings. There's 2.9. Getting it perfect. Get in the hole. Get in the hole, ball. Go home, ball. Go home. I was a little fat in the rough. I got pushed back a lot more than I thought I was. Wind starting to pick up. In the hole. Just watching something about some person in the United States. It's talking about if the earth was really round, why do they keep trying to force it on us by having all these globes everywhere and showing globes? You know, if they really believed that it was round, they wouldn't have to like force the globes on us. The earth is round. Balls are round. Blowfish are round. Alright, back to the drawing board. I left myself a little short. So I left myself on that hole. On the second shot, I was 2 rings deep into the rough. And I think what I need to do is get right up on it and get 1 ring into the rough. And on today with the headwind that we have, it definitely pushed me back. Shit, I must have landed 3 rings in. It came out really fat. So I definitely got pushed back. Now the fear there would be is if I had wind going this way and you left yourself 1 ring off and you didn't pull out enough that you'd miss the rough. And the most important part of a rough bump is hitting the rough. So I'll have to work on this second shot on what adjustment to do there, but at least I'm getting the drive down. All right, I'm still undecided. What I really want to do here is just the max overpower hook shot and get myself right here, but I demoed this shot for everybody just so that you could see what it looked like. I think Let me look at top spin. So rock versus 64 versus 55. You can definitely get closer with the APOC. Definitely. I used my rock the other day and I ran all the topspin on it and I was like wedge away, like max wedge. But you could definitely get closer with the extra 10 topspin. But I think the max overpower, I'm going to practice this hole one time. I'm going to take my rock and I'm going to take a katana. Let's see if I have any practice tokens. I'm not sure that I do. Do I have any practice tokens? Do I have? I have one. Let's put something on here so that I can get a practice token. Just in case I want to practice one more hole. Not actually in this account I don't think I have anything that gives me practice tokens. I don't. I have nothing that gives me practice tokens. See if I have anything in here that gives me a practice token. Nada. I do have two. Okay. I don't have anything that gives me practice. I'm going to practice this hole one time. Once. Just once. Just once. Just for you. Just for safety. Richard said with the wind that we have today, with this wind, that it pushes you off and you need to be a little bit further out. But I'm not convinced. I think it was with headwind. Here we have tailwind, so it might have been on the backside. Realistic. Realistic goes first. Now I suppose if you brought out a really big club that had a lot of backspin, or a really big ball, you could start off on the other side and do a max backspin, side spin, curl shot and land over there, and then really try and throw it to the right, that you might be able to get a little closer. That's the wrong club for this. Hey dude, I thought you brought the wrong fucking club to begin with. What part of you need lots of curl are you not understanding on a hole like this? You have a quarterback in your bag? Play with the quarterback. Max everything. Blue ring off. As close to the rocks as you can get with the... with your white ring. Take the wind out. There's 4 miles an hour. I'm going to do a little more. I'm going to do like a 5%. There you go. And that I was pushing my luck on the stuff to the right there. I like how I rolled in and I was down the middle of that fairway, but well, let me tell you, that first bounce was super close. If I'd have been any more to the left, I'd have hit the rough right there and I'd have been in deep shit. Deep doo-doo. How would I fix that? Could start off just a little teeny bit more to the right. Maybe like 3 and a smidgen rings off into the rough. I need my caddy to go out there and drive a stake in the ground so I know where I'm at, because you don't really have any markers out there. try the dunk since we're in practice. Funny. All right. All right. All right. I'm taking that shot right there. I'm taking that shot. That's what I'm doing. And I think I'm going to move myself out just, not a lot, but just a little teeny bit to give myself a little teeny bit of breathing room on that second shot. Hole number 6. Hole number 6. Let's play it. Let's play it for real. If I can get an opponent. Got my Homer Simpson going for me. What's funny is I can't even access that Facebook account, so I can't change that avatar even if I wanted to. When the game first came out and I saw that our picture was out there and you could see everybody's picture out on the course where they hit, I put that picture in there just so that it would like intimidate my opponent. They'd look out and they'd see it and they'd be intimidated. Max. This wind's not as high. Okay, I'm going to be just a little teeny bit. I'm like 4 1/4 rings. And my white ring's rubbing up against the rock on the other side. 2.8, maybe 3 rings. Hitting it right where I wanted it. Man, that's close. It's close. Whoa down, Cat Daddy. Whoa down, Cat Daddy. Maybe I should run like one less topspin on that too. I think on the back we must have headwind on this. My opponent's doing the right deal here, I think, except the fact that they're using a damn extra mile. I love extra miles. Everybody loves extra miles. We've all hit 1,000 shots with our extra mile. It has a place. It's a great club. But what part of extra mile? It's not extra curl. Like bring out your APOC. It's got extra curl. It's got more curl than a freaking extra mile. Because that's going to go... Ooh, they got lucky. Ooh, they didn't get lucky. If they'd hit that perfect, that might not have been bad, but that was still... Bring out a bigger curl club. Getting it perfect. In the hole. I was surprised that the wind was a little bit of a factor there. It came in on the right-hand side of the flagpole, and I aimed right at the flagpole. And the way the wind was going, it would have pushed me off right where it pushed me off, and I'm kind of surprised that at that distance, the wind actually, something played a factor, either the terrain or the wind. I'm going to make a note on my sheet here. One less than max topspin. I don't want to take any risks of ending up on that side and everything's perfect and then I overshoot it and end up in the rough on the back side of the green. The whole idea is we got to pick up 3 on a side, and hole number 1 in this hole are like absolute regardless of any other hole, these are great opportunities. We really want to maximize our opportunities on these holes, hole number 6 and hole number 1. The other holes, we obviously want to pick something up, but these holes are like the ones we really want to focus on. This hole right here, my teammate Richard did a sand bump out, and I'm not going to show you sand bumps. Part of this has to do with the fact that I play real golf, and in real golf we do not fuck around with sand bumps. First of all, you don't get to practice very much in the sand. There's a driving range not too far from my house that has a sand trap that you can actually go out there and practice. So they have a putting green that's not maintained that you can hit out of the sand and hit to it just so that you can practice that, and it's opened up to the driving range, so you can go out there and hit a long shot, like if you were in a mid fairway sand trap, you could practice getting out of the sand and driving it down the field. But it's one of the very few driving ranges I've ever been to that has this type of setup where you can actually go out there and practice in the sand. And their only requirement is that if you go practice out of that sand trap, that you rake it when you're done and you maintain it and you clean it up and do a little bit of cleanup. Not very many people use it. I go out there and use it on a regular basis, so I feel comfortable hitting out of the sand. But hitting out of the sand is not any fun. And hitting into the sand intentionally, come on. I mean, what are you drinking? What are you drinking? Which way's the wind blowing? Yeah, it works. I'm taking my number. I'm taking a Katana to start off with, and I'm taking a Guardian. I got that selected. But in Golf Clash, probably your best way to go, if you're going to go for hole-in-one, probably your best way to do it is to hit the sand bump. That probably is your best way. That probably is your best bet. .7 divided by, I'm not sure where I'm at in my club. .37 rings. I'm going to do a max, even though I don't think I'm at max. Because like an idiot, I didn't look. And I hit it great. So I got all that going for me. I probably should have did the sand bump. I could have did the sand bump and probably ended up not any better. Although I will say I'm on the green. I can get my putt and move the hell along. My opponent's got the same idea as me. Let's see where they set theirs up. You're probably more towards minimum club, which would have been like 1.5 per ring instead of 1.1. But it is way the hell downhill, and I'm not sure that 30% is enough. And they hit it great. So they got that going for them. Perfect. In the hole. See if they can get it in. I'm sure they can. I'm sure everybody in the game is a better putter than me. I could miss that putt. I'm not saying I want to, but I could. Alright, next hole. Sniper Katana. What is this hole? Are we on hole number? No, we're on hole number 7. Are we on hole number 7? No, we're on hole number 8. APOC Kingmaker. Ah, which way's the wind blowing? This might be a day. You can do what you can do on this hole, but you can't do it on every day. You can do a max overpower shot and try and get over here and try and get your bounces right so that you just bleed out and you're on the side. There's a great shot from down here. I'm trying to decide whether on, in this account I don't have the ball inventory to go for it every day. I've got some 4-power balls, but I'm not sure I could get over here with a 4-power ball. The 4-power balls do have top spin boost, but I think I'm just going to lay it up down here at the bottom and work on this shot since I'm in my practice account. In my main account on days where there's tailwind like this, I could go for trying to get on in one. Let's see who's at the front door. The mail lady. The mail lady's at the front door, and the dogs are going crazy. It's not like they don't hear her every day. Oh man, that felt good. Oh, I need to smoke now. I'm going to take an APOC. I'm going to take my number 5 back. 2 top spin and a Kingmaker. Need a Kingmaker. Need the side spin. And it doesn't hurt on the second shot. I'm pulling back to the +3 mark. +10 on the drive. 2 top spin. In this account, I can do a rough bump on the second shot because I'm using a Hornet. In my main account, I've got a Kingmaker or a Kingfisher, and I can't do the rough bump. I'm still not sure on the second shot. We should technically have to take a little bit of wind off on the second shot, but I'm not so sure that the game is playing that way. +3 mark. 2 top spin. +2 mark. +3 mark. 2 rings off. 3.1, so it's 3.3. It's 1.5 per ring. So there's 3. And 3 would be 1/5. Max curl. Hitting it perfect. I'm just floating it out there. Now, I could get more distance, but this gives me a great look at the rough bump. If you get more distance down there, you kind of take yourself out of the rough bump, where you can still do the rough bump, but you got to put on a bunch of right-hand side spin in order to bring yourself back around. But here I should have a fairly straight shot right at the cup. And there is a shot that you can do if you go straight forward. If I was doing the straightforward shot trying to get over to the other side, I would probably come at it on the right and avoid that sand trap. And try and then bring it back to the left onto the course right there. Okay, so where am I at? There's Max. There's Man. So I am right at Mid Hornet. And Mid Hornet is 1.3 per ring. .9 divided by 1.3, 2.55 rings. I'm going to do 2.6. There's 2, there's 2.5, there's 2.6. Hitting it perfect. Get in the hole. Get in the hole, ball. Get in the hole. Woo! In the hole. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about right there. Picking up all 3 of the par 4s. Now I took a little bit of wind off of that. I did 0.85, but I think I slightly over pulled it. So probably like taking 10% off might be the way to go. Hold on. Puppy. Come on, puppies. Let's go, Itsy Bitsy. Come on, little girly. Got the dogs out. My wife came home and opened the garage door, and the dogs could get out. Busy street, you can hear in the background. Little teeny dogs. Not good. Not good. All right. What hole are we on? Picking it up. Okay, hold on. All right, I'm back. Now that I had a heart attack with the dogs. Grab something to eat. I was starting to get a little lightheaded there. All right. I am going for the shot coming around this way, trying to bring it out into this area and sniper to the cup. What I would watch out for about hitting down in here is obviously this is one of those angle things. So if you're coming off on this side and you're trying to make up this angle, the farther you get down into the bottom here, it's pushing you off. So you may be able to make it over to the other side, but you run out of fairway and you can't get the max out of your topspin. So while it may seem counterintuitive, if you pull back and you don't hit the shot as far, you could end up with more distance on the other side because you're giving yourself the right angle for your ball to run out. So that's one of the reasons why I'm pulling the ball back into this area to take the shot. And the other one is that the terrain here sucks. And you don't want to hit on a downhill where your ball's coming in like this and then it takes a flat trajectory. You'd rather hit up here at the top so that your ball takes a higher trajectory and you get more distance in the long run. So where am I at? I'm using an APOC and a Kingmaker, and I do not have very good notes on this hole. I do know that I pulled back from the red line in order to find the right spot, but I'm not sure where I was at in my shot when I took that. Continue. Let's go. I'm going to take my number 5 bag, faux show, and I'm going to take a Kingmaker, faux show, same stuff. Let's open up a slot. Make room for another chest. All right, here we go. Here we go. Getting out on the course. And once again, I have no clue what kind of numbers I need to be doing as far as the second shot. But this, like so many other holes in this particular tournament, they're definitely one shot at a time. If you screw the drive up, you're not going to be, it doesn't matter what numbers you have or how good you think you're going to be at the second shot, you're screwed. So I'm like back up in this area. What we're doing is I want to make sure that second bounce is hitting in the fairway there. I really don't even want to be up where I can be somewhere like in this zone. Three, so 3-3. There's 3. Max curl. See if we got that right. And I'm going to run out of fairway. Ooh. I have to go back and look at that shot because the thing about this one is you really need a 3-power ball for the second shot. I'm pretty sure. You might be able to do it with a 2-power ball, but it's hard to, there's not a good spot out there to mark. And I don't want to pinch myself up too much down on the drive like where my opponent's at down there. Because you can get, obviously with a 3-power ball, you can get all the way, or a 2-power ball, you can get all the way down to the bottom. That'll level 6 APOC. I had a little bit easier time on my 77 account because I have a level 6 APOC and it's got more curl, which the difference between 92 and 98 doesn't sound like a bit, but it's a bit. It's a lot. You can see my opponent hit on the downhill, and so their bounce came off flat and went straight instead of, like, let's see where I've been. Like, there's max club, so I could bring a katana on this, and it would help me. It might help me out a little. 3.7. I'm gonna just do a straight up shot. Sniper divided by 1.2. 3.2 rings. 3.08. And I should add on one, so it's 3.2. 3.2 rings. There's the 0.2. There's the 3. Hitting it perfect. Should get a little read. It should be downhill. I should be adding on like 10%, but we'll see. Yeah, I probably should have added on like 10%. And that was at minimum club. I'd be more towards mid if I brought a katana, but I think I might bring a katana. Katana might help me out on the drive. So if you hit on a hill like this and you hit up here at the top, you're going to take a normal bounce. If you hit down here at the bottom, it's going to be a flat bounce, and you're going to do exactly what my opponent did, and it's just going to dig itself right into the dirt. And in this case, the sand. And they did the same thing there. They hit on the downhill and it went boom right into the sand. In the hole. All right, we survived the front. We picked up 3, so that's what the goal is, to pick up, is to at least work on those par 4s to try and pick up the par 4s, which I think are our best opportunities. You just got to hit perfect on them, or you got to hit great and get lucky. One of the two. No dice. My opponent is not a happy camper right now. Luckily, it's the opening round, so I don't get too discouraged. All right, I achieved my goal on the front, is to try and get a 15. The whole goal is to try and get a 14, and then we got to pick up one extra one on either the front or the back. So, like, getting it done on the front. So, still got a lot of work to do on the back to try and get to 29. But anything more than 28, I think, is really good on this course. And if you get to 30, that's a bonus. All right, there you have it. Minus 15 on the front in my practice account. I will grab a quick drink and see you on the back. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.